we're at a point now where we can actually, when we run this, we'll save John in the database. Happy days. And let's just try and have a look if he actually showed up. I'll just do a refresh. And there we go. We have John available right here and a couple of other people that we want to kind of get rid of right now. But we have no checks right now. First of all, we're using numbers right here. I'm not satisfied with that. I actually want to start using strings here. I also don't want to auto increment. I actually want to start using the socket that's connected. I want to use that ID to save. And the final thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the nicknames so they can only be unique. I don't want the same name twice. I don't have that right now, but if I put McDude in there again, let's just try and do that. McDude, you'll see that he actually pops up twice, and that's of course not okay. We only want that name one time, meaning we want it to be unique. So now we have McDude twice. So we're going to fix that in our entity model right here. Let's jump into the client entity. Now, in order to do that, you can go and read the documentation. The first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the auto-generated column right here where it just counts one every time a new number is added or a new client is added. So we'll get rid of that. Instead, what I want is I want this to be a unique string. So let's start by making it a string. And the second thing I want to do is I want to add just an option right here. You can add options again with a JavaScript object or TypeScript object right here. And I'll just say unique, and I'll set that uniqueness to true, meaning that this should be a unique primary column. So you cannot have the same ID twice. Another thing I want to do is I want to set the nickname unique as well. Now we can go and discuss if this is the right way to do it, but I want to show you guys the uniqueness and how you can set that up in your system. So I'm going to make them both unique like this. Sweet. The next thing I want to do, notice right here we're getting an error, is if you go into the service now, you'll notice that actually there's a problem because we don't set the ID right now for this client right here before we save him. So we can do that now by saying client.id, and the ID should be equal to that ID we're getting from the outside. There we go. And now we should actually be able to save this guy, but there's another issue, and that is right now we have some data in the database, so it won't overwrite the database and change the schema. So let's try and go to our data grip, and I'll just mark all of these guys down here, and I'll actually delete them by saying command or control delete like this. They should all be marked like this. You can also right click and say delete like this, delete rows. And when you've deleted them in data grip, you just have to push this button right here or command and enter or alt enter, and you'll actually send them to the database and update the database. So now everything is gone. Now with this in place, let's go back to the code and just restart our application, and that should be enough. Now the database will be regenerated for us with the correct schema for the tables. Sweet. With this in place, let's try something. Let's try and write and create a new guy here called John. There we go. We'll send John in there, and now we have John available. Let's just refresh once more and add another John. So we'll send that in there. Oh, we need to be uppercase John. There we go. Let's try and send that again. Now notice we get an error. We are violating a constraint. So we have that unique constraint up and running. Another thing you can see right here is we have John now, and here's the ID for that socket that he was using. So that's it. Now we updated the schema, we updated our client, and we actually set up some more information about the primary column and also the normal column for nickname, made them both unique, changed this to a string, and now we're actually ready for some of the more complex code that we're going to write in the next lesson. So that's it for this lesson. See you next time.